Hello, my name is Robert Willock. I'm the Director of the Economist Corporate Network for the MENA region, based here in Dubai. Delighted to be joined today by Simon Baptist, who is the Chief Economist for the Economist Intelligence Unit. And while Simon is with us, I thought I would take the opportunity to ask him what his outlook is for oil price, one of the biggest drivers of economic growth for the Middle East region, of course. Simon, so what do we expect to happen in the short and medium term with regard to oil prices?
With oil, you've always got to be careful about what's your point of reference. The market can gyrate so much, and you might think it's oversold or undersold depending on if you're comparing it to 1 month or 6 months or 1 year ago. From where we stand today, where oil is about $60 a barrel, I do expect to see that price coming up over the next 6 months or so. This has really been, in the short-term dynamics, a reaction to the fact that Donald Trump has allowed more waivers for Iranian oil exports than expected. So Iranian exports are not going to fall by as much as perhaps markets were thinking. So this has caused the short-term fall down from sort of 70 down to about 60. I do expect OPEC to respond to that over the coming months, particularly Russia and Saudi Arabia. That'll push oil back up towards that $70 mark. And I think 70, 72 on average is where we think oil will stay through 2019. Of course, periods are up and periods are down, depending on geopolitics, supply shocks, and the other factors. But I think 70 is about an equilibrium level, which businesses could be using for planning purposes next year.
And what do you think is perhaps the key price point that starts to really unlock government spending in this region?
Governments have different break-even points in the Middle East, and those governments that have had a more successful push towards diversification, such as the UAE, that have more capacity to raise revenue elsewhere, are less reliant on high oil prices, actually have the ability to be a bit more prudent in their planning and plan for lower prices. But there are some other economies that are further back on that still need a high price, and so therefore government spending is much more affected by where the oil price sits. So places like Oman, Bahrain, and Saudi Arabia in particular all do need high oil prices for their plans to come to fruition, and they rely on prices higher than we're expecting to see. So in those countries, we should be thinking about where might the government spending promises not be able to be met.
Okay, that's something to look out for in the year ahead. Oil prices ranging around the $70 a mark, perhaps not quite enough to unlock the kind of serious government spending that many of the regional economies would like to see, but nevertheless higher than it has been in recent memory.